Don't blink, it's your boy Inko. You guys are doing well because they're having a fantastic day. If you're not, let me make it better with Chucky Child Play at chapter 20. Let's freaking go. Sorry, I need to drink some water. I have a coarse voice today because I'm sick. There you go. There you go. Got a teacher. And right away, it's kind of cool because there's no description. It's a short book. It's only 7 hours. There's no description about the school. We don't know how it feels. It just go to a new class as a teacher. And the teacher, you can tell, oh my gosh. Andy is stuck in the past. I said so before. But the way he's expressing himself is still like a kid, but it's still something we can relate to. He called the teacher a witch because she looks very old. And then he remember his old teacher, how she was young, she was nice. And her, she's old, she's a witch. So right away, the first impression, Andy is, he doesn't like her. Uh, it's also a case of the old teacher represented the past and the new teacher represented the future, and Andy is kind of missing the past, right? So that's also important. uh the old life, you have to sit in front of the bully, right? Why would it, and then the first reaction is, why is this seat free? What happened to the kid who was going on, who was sitting here before? And no kid thinks like that, but Andy does. Which is again super cool. For the bully, why is he free? The name of the bully is Rick Spicer. What a fucking stupid name. The bully already kicks Andy, right? And then Andy, he turns around to complain, and then he gets in trouble, which is kind of shitty. But then when you learn why, it's kind of crazy too. It's kind of like super cool too. Old life. Bully kick Andy. When Andy complained, he gets in trouble. He calls the teacher. The teacher, he doesn't call her, but she's a bitch. And it's so fucking cool what happened next. This is my favorite part of the movie. My, oh man. Um, the teacher, she gave him like a math exam, and we learned that Andy is good at math. So I was like, okay, maybe it's my chance to prove that I'm cool, right? Your math teacher protects Spencer, right? Because he does feel like, why is she protecting him, the bully? So I have to explain what's going on. I have to. We learned that since the incident, Andy has been placed in a special ed classes. So the teacher possibly know that Rick Spicer, sorry, has some issue at home, has some issue of violence, has emotional problem, and him bullying Andy is normal, right? That's possibly why. But then maybe Andy aggravating him is gonna turn into a bad situation, and maybe that's why she's protecting him. I don't know. I think it's fucking shitty. Don't protect one child. Be fair. The recess is outside, right? Everybody's happy, even Andy. Um, there's a really cool moment. Holy shit! They put them in a separate line, and Andy's looking around. He's not here again. Andy is constantly not in the present, which is a big problem, and it's becoming a bit annoying. Um, she goes into a line and she says, "B for Barkley, you're B, Andy. Go in line." And the kid, they make fun of him, but he's still, I get to have my recess, so he's living hell, but he's a kid, you know. Andy is looking. I wrote down Andy looking stupid because I thought it was funny. Chucky, you see him outside, and it's like, okay, perfect time. It is perfect time. There's no teacher. There's no principal. If I want to go attack him, this is the way. And uh, right away, when he see the class, he's like, okay, this is special ed. And apparently, Chucky was special ed too. He had emotional problem. He had a hard time reading, possibly dyslexia, right? So it's kind of cool because they have another point in common, and Chucky having things in common with Andy is gonna help him and gonna help Chucky blending in. Good for him, bad for us. Um, Emotion matter. Chucky knew he was odd. Okay. Everybody knew Chucky was odd, and nobody cared. You even called the school a concentration camp, right? So you can tell that his mom, and we know Chucky was bullied. Charles Lee Ray was bullied. So this is all proof that school for him was not a good place for being here. And it's so cool because a lot of people are gonna say what's going on after is a bit extreme, but Chucky, when he went to school, it was not Chucky, it was Charlie Ray. He wasn't a killer. Now he has a chance to be a killer in the school, where it's a last place of trauma. So if he wants to act out, this is the perfect place. Emotion as pointing common. Chucky knew was odd concentration. He's going to end school itself, and he's starting to be really good. So this is really important. And at the beginning of the book, he's talking about how the finger they feel plastic, his face feel plastic, but now his feet they feel like him. And this is a sign that he's merging with the doll, which is bad, right? And again, it's reminding us there's a timeline. Um, they're reminding us often there's a timeline. It's just a push a narrative. Like why is the story going so fast? It's again because of the timeline. Chucky hates school. He reads class, but there's two possible class. There's first grade. You know that he's in first grade. So it's like first grade A, first grade B. Now Chucky goes in a class, and of course, Chucky's brilliant. What he does, he picks up the test, and then he finds one with Andy Barkley, and that's his test. Oops. Ooh. See the test, find Andy. Oh my gosh. He takes a pen and then he starts writing. And we don't know it's what he writes, but we hear him and laugh. We know because we saw the movie, but still. I'm so excited. Ooh, damn. As I said, I'm so excited. Usually what I like to do is fuck. Usually what I like to do is when there's a change of sound, I like to move on. But this is so good, and I'm gonna be finishing soon. I only have like a couple of lines, so let's finish it. This is my favorite part. We got back to Andy, back to class, right? The story time, and again, the story time is usually there's a carpet you sit around. I remember story time; they were amazing. We had story time with it. Oh my gosh, it's so cool. But this is my favorite part of the book again. Um, but it's too far for the teacher. They make them stay in their books, and it's like, oh fuck. And she's reading Pinocchio, right? And it's kind of like cool because Pinocchio is a kid who lies, and he lies. You see, and it's not even specified. It's just like a wink to the viewer. And she does the book, so you can tell that she kind of care, right? He gets flicked by Rick Spicer again, bully, but Andy react this time, and instead of saying, instead of talking to the teacher, he's talking to him, and he give him a small insult. But good for you, Andy. Good for you for standing up. Good for you for not letting people walk over you. I should take your advice, which is kind of cool again because Andy is a kid, but he's tough. Get caught in trouble again, right? But he's not gonna snitch. He was going to snitch, but at the end he's like, oh, no, I'm not gonna snitch. In a worst case, maybe because Spencer could be my friend. It's a fucked up way, but it's a kid. Teacher, she's a what? Oh yeah, the teacher. She's like, I'm starting to get tired of you, and she said I can be nice and I can be mad, and she's giving him the bad cop, good cop, routine, and he doesn't give a straight shit. He's saved by the bell, right, and then he started to read the Bearson Bear, which is something I've read as a kid. Uh, I don't remember. Good Cup in my mind. The backup Good Cup. He just left. He just went to read a book, right? Um, and he's explaining the class, and he sees a good guy doll, and he says, "This wasn't here before. We know now. We know that it is Chucky. It is Chucky for real." I know, nasty. I know, but I wanna. What am I gonna do, bro? I don't have a napkin today. I'm gonna take them from work. Uh, afraid of doll, right? Start the exam. And then this teacher, she starts screaming and she starts really getting mad, right? And then everybody's wondering why until she starts reading what's on the paper, what's on the test, and he's like, oh, Chucky writes either fucking bitch, fuck you, on Andy's test. So she thinks it's Andy that wrote that. And you think it's funny? This is your idea of a joke, right? And then you start thinking, oh, maybe it's Spicer, and that's important because Spicer was a bully, If it wasn't for Spicer, who could have done it? So he has an excuse to think that's not Chucky, which is cool. But again, not cool enough to say, okay, this is gonna stick right. Andy, he denied that he did it. The kids, they don't like him because again, when he gets in trouble, nobody sticks up for him, and people did make fun of him. Again, it's your first day, bro. What do you think? What do you think is gonna happen? Maybe he thought one of the kids like, no, I wrote that. Like him teacher detention, right? And he's borderline gonna cry, but he's like, no, she's mean. I'm not gonna cry for her. So again, uh, that's Andy being kind of like a gangster. Andy being like, nah, I'm not gonna give her the satisfaction. And yeah, that's the episode. Thank you so much for being here. As always, I love you guys. Take it easy. Peace the fuck out. Such a good book, man. This is my favorite part. Like, oh, just the fact. So in the movie, it's a bit better. Just the fact that, like, the teacher, you can kind of see, like, the fuck you written, and you can see the words on the paper. It's just beautiful. It's amazing.